Folks, this is number 10 in your lab. This is in chapter 2. I want to point to number 10. This is number 10 on page 119 as part of your lab with this thing. So let me come down here and talk to you a little bit about this lab, about number 10 with this thing. You've done something like this very, very similar to, I kind of did something like this as far as number 9, and it's very much like it, the way how you would actually, it's different with the way how you convert the numbers, but I want to do this in the static cast with this thing. So I kind of did something like this in a similar problem. If you look at number 7, which is very, very similar to that I have posted in your notes with it. So in number 7 it says write a program that prompts the user to input a decimal number and output the rounded number to the nearest integer. And I had you use the same concept again, is you still have to declare. This is number 7 with this thing. So you recall you still have to allocate memory here with it. And make sure your memory that you allocated, in this case, is to try to get you to input in 5 decimal numbers. So you gotta do it in as a double, right? So you create 5 decimal for me in this thing, and ultimately you have another variable. Think about the variables that you will use to convert as an int with it as well. The other piece about this thing is that you need to prompt the user in this thing. You need to prompt the user for information, store the information into these memories with it as well. So how do you prompt them and read in the information into the variables that you have declared? Now the calculation part, this is the part where you would actually come in and calculate this thing, right? Think about how you want to calculate this thing. This is a static cast, right? It's very similar to number 7 with this thing, static cast. And in the static cast, in your book that you read, they tell you this is the data type, this is the syntax, as you put in the data type, it goes here, and ultimately your expression, it goes between here, right? So there are a couple ways to do this thing. You know, you have to convert this thing and take it as an int. So you write your expression out here with it. I'm just going to comment this part out too as well. So when you think about when you store your static cast and when you convert it into what data type, most likely it will be an int, because it's going to drop off the decimal with it to the nearest integer, and you would actually put in all that in your expression, that you add decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way up. And how do you round that off in number 7? Remember that you had to add a 0.05 to it when you convert it over to an int, you just drop off the decimal part to it. So static cast is just a silly way of rounding off numbers to it. But for the purpose of the discussion, we don't do this in industry. We use floor or ceiling when we do rounding off. It's more accurate precision. But just to demonstrate some of the things that we have, I just want to share with you with as well. And ultimately, you will have to output or display the string that tells you the sum of the number to the nearest integer is whatever the number is that they input. Okay, so I kind of gave you the comments on how you want to do number 10. I don't want to do it for you. It's very similar to number 7 if you look at number 7. Okay,